What is up? What is this? Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Amanda, and today I'm going to be doing my sorority Q&A video, letting you guys know everything you need to know about being in a sorority. Maybe. Probably not, because sororities are a little bit different where I go to school versus everywhere else, but we'll get back into that in a little while. But so basically, I reached out to you guys on Instagram and had you send me in a bunch of questions that had to do with sororities, and I'm going to answer all of them for you guys. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, go check me out at AMANDALOUISE YT. I ask you guys a ton of questions, go on live a bunch, just interact with you guys all the time on there. So if you want to be a part of the next video where I ask you guys questions and stuff, be sure to go and follow me on there so you're a part of it. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. So, as a little background information for those of you who may not have been watching me for very long, or this is your first video seeing me, hey, you should stick around and subscribe by clicking that button down below. I love you already. I go to the University of Connecticut. I'm going into my junior year at UConn, and I am in Delta Gamma. However, there's a little bit of background to that if you guys know it. I'm not going to go very into depth about it just because, well, there are some questions on here. Maybe I should state that now. I'll probably do it towards the end just in case if you don't care, you don't have to watch it. But yeah, so I'm probably going to answer more of that towards the end of the video if you're curious. I'm technically an early alum for Delta Gamma. Like I said, if you want to learn more about why that is, like I said, I'm not going to go huge into depth. You can look up news articles and whatever you want. They're not true, but it'll give you kind of like the basis of why. Well, like yeah, maybe don't. I don't know, because none of them are reliable. So just, I guess, watch till the end. I don't know. My sorority experience is going to be a little different, and like I said, you'll kind of learn more about that at the end, but I was only in Delta Gamma for 1 year. I never got to go through, like, the recruiting process, like me recruiting new members myself, so I can't really answer questions based on that. I'm not the person to ask for that, just because, like I said, I don't have the experience. I literally, like, know nothing about it, really. But yeah, I'm going to answer everything that I can with my knowledge of being in my sorority for the short time that I was. Another thing is, at UConn, because we're in like the Northeast, Southern schools take recruitment and Greek life much more seriously. So what is true to my situation might not necessarily be true to a Southern school situation, because like I said, they do take it much more seriously down there. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, and let's get into this because it's already been 4 minutes and I don't stop talking. Okay, so the first question is, do I go to a lot of frat parties? Only AKL parties, because they're my boys. So if you want to see me anywhere, I mean, I probably won't be at many parties this year because my boyfriend graduated. My boyfriend is an AKL. And AKL kind of just like adopted me into their brotherhood. I feel like I'm really a part. I love them. So AKL guys are the best guys. So actually, this question I kind of want to address first because I did get a lot of questions about it. What is a sorority? So we're going to go ahead and give you the Google definition, and then I'll kind of like go off of that. I don't really like this definition. A society for female students in a university or college, typically for social purposes. So I don't want to say that's incorrect, but it's definitely not. That's not it. A lot of people, I feel like, movies and like media have kind of really ruined sororities' image. Even it kind of did to me. Like, I almost did not rush my freshman year because of what I thought a sorority was, and it really is not that. So basically, I'm sure you see in the movies a bunch of girls that scream and do chants and whatever, and like they're terrifying and they do all kinds of hazing and whatever. That's not it. It's not it. So it is for, I guess, like a social purpose. Like, you do join to meet people that have a lot of things in common with you and that are similar to you. That's basically why I joined, but that's not all you do. You don't just go to parties and like hang out and gossip. Like, it's not it. So Every sorority has a philanthropy as well, which they raise money for literally all year long. They host events and fundraisers and everything to raise money for that philanthropy, which is one of the parts that I love so much about it. Being in a sorority or fraternity or whatever is also really good for networking later on in life. Right now, while you're in college, you have immediate connections, and like all those people have connections, so it's really good to like get a job. Chances are what you want to do, you are gonna know someone who has a connection into that, which is always just really nice to have, you know, because you're in college to further your life, go further and find a good job, and so it definitely helps you do that. So that's like a little brief definition of what a sorority is. I feel like you really need to be in one to totally get like the full effect of it, but don't judge them off of what the movies show you or whatever, because it's just really not it at all. If you went to a college and were in a sorority, then moved schools, can you still join the new colleges? This is kind of a loaded question, and I am not fully knowledgeable on all of this. I'm just gonna, like I said, give you the knowledge that I have on the topic. Most of the sororities at schools that you're gonna join are part of the NCP, the National Panhellenic Council.
Okay, so I kept saying NCP, NPC. I literally said what the letters stood for, and yet I still messed it up. National Panhellenic Council, NPC. Okay, Amanda, nice job. Just ignore me, please.
Those are like a set group of sororities. There are different like local sororities and stuff like that, but if you're rushing an NCP sorority, you can only transfer into that sorority at a new school. So if that school does not have, say, we're just going to use Delta Gamma because I'm a Delta Gamma. Say I transferred to Quinnipiac University, which is kind of close by. I don't believe they have a Delta Gamma there. So if I were to transfer there and they didn't have a Delta Gamma, I could not rush a new sorority. If they did have a Delta Gamma, I could join theirs. And that's because I'm already initiated. So I guess I should have said that at the beginning. So once you are initiated into your sorority, and it's an NCP sorority, you cannot rush another sorority ever. You're done. If you drop out before you're initiated, you can rush for other sororities. I think you have to wait for a year, though, until you can rush again. However, if you are an NCP sorority, this is my friend Juliana that you guys met. This is kind of her situation. She went to the University of Arizona. She was a Pi Beta Phi there, and then she transferred schools, and they do not have a Pi Beta Phi at her new school. So she can rush their local sororities. Although she is initiated in the NCP sorority, she can still join a local one because it is not part of the NCP.
The fact that I say it so many times with such confidence. Like, what?
What was your biggest struggle with rush or sororities, and how did you deal with it? Really just opening up, going through recruitment, I think was the biggest struggle for me. It is like nerve-wracking, let me tell you. It's definitely, I mean, like if you're a very outgoing social person, I think you'll be completely fine. However, I am more on the shy side. I've definitely come out of my shell more as I've been in college, but going through recruitment right like the first week of my freshman year was nerve-wracking. And it's not that the girls make it scary, it's just that it's an intimidating process. So you are basically going from house to house to house or different sororities and meeting a ton of different girls and talking to all of them. So like you need to be able to hold a conversation. They're really good at kind of like starting them and keeping them going for you. But if you're just gonna, you can't just be like, yeah, no, okay, huh, oh, cool, yeah. The time is going to go by so slow, and they're going to be like, plus, they're probably not going to pick you, and that's just the reality of it. Like, they're going to want to pick people that they make connections with. So definitely put yourself out there and just, like, try to push yourself out of your comfort zone and have good conversations, and you'll be fine. But that is definitely the most nerve-wracking part about the whole situation. What should you say when you're trying to get into a sorority? Definitely just be yourself. You don't want to put on an act because you're not going to find your real home. And I know that's kind of cliche. However, you shouldn't talk about the three B's for it's been so long. Booze, boys, bucks, and okay, the 5 B's to avoid during sorority recruitment. Boys, booze, bush, meaning like politics, beliefs, so like your religious beliefs, stuff like that, and bucks, so like talking about money, it's tacky, don't do it. So those are the main things you just don't want to talk about. It looks bad. You don't want to like start any conflicts immediately, and you just don't want to, I don't know, just don't talk about them. It's kind of like a known thing just to not talk about them. They're all kind of like, they're not all controversial topics, but like you don't want to be like, so what are the parties like? What are the boys like? Oh my god, I want to go out and drink. Like, no, like you sound stupid and no one's going to want you. Like, I'm sorry, just don't do it. Like I said, just be yourself. You don't want to put on an act because you're not going to find the right home for you. You want the girls to like you for who you are, and if you're like trying to be what you want them to think you are, you're going to end up being miserable. Not miserable, but like not as happy as you could be. Did I have to go through any kind of initiation? Every sorority has initiation, but you probably are thinking more of like the hazing aspect. I did not, and I am like 100% serious in that. I am not just saying that so my sorority doesn't get in trouble. Like 110%, cross my heart, swear to die, like I did not have to go through any hazing process. Initiation is how you are brought into the sorority, and I can't really give details on that just because it's like a ritual process, and it's like secretive to the Sisters of Delta Gamma. But seriously, 100%, I did not go through any sort of hazing process, if that's kind of what you're asking. I feel like that's more like what you're getting at. I can't say that that's true for every sorority. I don't know. I think it's likely that you would have to go through something of that effect down in the South, just because they do take it so seriously. But luckily enough, that was one of my biggest fears of sorority recruitment. And from day one of like right when you were like my first like new member meeting, they were like, if you have any questions about hazing anything, it's not going to happen. Like, just don't be afraid of it. It's not going to happen. We are not going to do it to you. Like, if you don't believe me, come and talk to me. Like, I swear to you, they were so good about it. I was so nervous, and I didn't have to, which was really, really nice. Do you have to be popular to get in one? Absolutely not at all. Popularity is not really a thing after high school, honestly. There's a sorority for everyone. But yeah, like I said, popularity is not really a thing at all in college. At least in my mind, it's not. I mean, everyone is like, it's like most of the time the campuses are so big. I mean, at UConn anyway, no one really knows. I mean, like, there are people that are well known, but I wouldn't say that they're like popular. You know what I mean? So no, you don't have to be popular to get into a sorority at all. Do you have to live in a sorority house? At UConn, it's not a requirement. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it's a requirement anywhere. I think it's more of like a if you want to type thing. I never lived in my sorority house because we didn't have one. Not all of the sororities and fraternities at UConn have sorority houses. But yeah, no, I don't believe you have to live in one anywhere. Do you have to have a certain GPA to get into a sorority? I don't know if you have to have a certain GPA to get in, but you have to maintain one to stay in good standing. Our minimum GPA was a 2.5? I believe the minimum was a 2.5. If you fell below a 2.5, you were on probation in the sorority, so you couldn't take a little, certain things like that you couldn't do. Like I said, they want you to have a good GPA, that's why they set the minimum. I don't know if you have to have a certain one to get in. Maybe if you're already a student there, maybe. But if you're coming from high school, I don't know if they look at that, to be completely honest. They are aware of it once you are in the sorority, and they want you to maintain your good grades, so that's why it's kind of like they know it and they can keep track of it. Are sororities hard to get into? I don't think so. I mean, if you're thinking about like a certain sorority that you need to be in, like you have this one set in your head, which is not the way you should go about sorority recruitment at all. I think it could be hard in that aspect to get into the one you have your heart and mind set on, but you just need to trust the process. Whatever is meant to happen is going to happen. If you don't end up in a sorority, it's not the end of the world. Maybe rush again next year or next semester or whatever. But no, they're not hard to get into, I don't think. Most of the time, I think everyone gets placed in one. It's just whether you end up with the one you want to might not, like, definitely happen. Are the girls fake? Not in my case at all. The reason that I really, really loved Delta Gamma was because the girls were so real and I felt so comfortable. Like, this is going to sound so stupid, and I might have even said it in my last year's video. The reason, and this was not the only reason, all of the sororities at UConn are so sweet, and really I would have been happy in any of them, but Delta Gamma, you get this feeling when you're in the right one, and with them, I felt so comfortable. Like I said, the process is very stressful and overwhelming. With them, I was just laughing the whole time. And when I went home, I was like, this is gonna sound dumb, but I could picture myself laying on the floor, eating pizza, and laughing my butt off with these girls. And like, that is what I wanted out of a sorority. I didn't want the top tier popularity contest type thing. In that aspect of, back to the popular thing, there are sororities that are like top tier. That's not what I was looking for. That's not what I went through recruitment for. I went to find my best friend, my future bridesmaids. Like, I didn't go for the name, you know what I mean? And that's what really drew me to Delta Gamma, is the girls were just so real. I feel like a lot of sororities, they have like a type of girl. We don't. I feel like we have like a type of personality. It's just sweet, real, like funny girls. Kind of like one of the guys. I don't know. We're just down to earth girls, and I'm not trying to like toot our own horn. It's just really like the vibe I got from them, and it has held true all of these years. So yeah, just look for the girls that you feel the most comfortable and like real with, because I'm sure there are some sororities where the girls might be fake because they want the name, you know what I mean? It's definitely a possibility, but in my case, they're not, and I'm so grateful for that. Do you feel that you're buying your friends by being in a sorority? Absolutely not. I get how people could think that, I totally do, but it's not it. You're not friends with every single girl, like, as soon as you're in. Like, it's just a way to meet people, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like you really just have to experience it to understand that that's not the case. And like I said, maybe some sororities are different. Maybe, like I said, if you rush for the name, you're probably going for more of that. I don't feel like I bought Sam's friendship. I don't know. It's just a way to meet people that are so similar to you and like have the same belief systems as you, and like raise money for a cause that you are so strongly invested in, and you happen to become friends along the way. It's not, I don't know. I guess you just have to experience it to understand that that's not the case. How did you handle your course load and time commitment to your sorority? So like I said, sororities want you to succeed academically. They have GPA requirements. They understand that like you're here for school. It's not just like a forget about your classes, forget about your homework, come and hang with us. Like, that's not the case. My sorority anyway, we had chapter that we had to go to every single week, once a week. So did not take up much time. We'd go for like an hour, 2 hours. Hour or 2 hours. So you already knew you were going to have it at that time, that same day, every single week, so you can plan around that. There are events that obviously you're going to want to go to, but if you have an exam the next day or like a ton of assignments, they're not going to force you to go, and if they do, you should be like, what? Maybe I'm not in the right, I don't know. I have never had an issue balancing being in my sorority and getting my schoolwork done. It's just never been a problem for me, because I feel like everyone in the sorority is going through the same thing and everyone gets it, you know what I mean? What are some questions that you can ask the sororities to get more information? You can ask them what their philanthropy is. I mean, there are a bunch of different days of recruitment, so they're kind of going to answer the questions for you, but you do want to seem interested and like you care, so ask them, I don't know, what their favorite part of the sorority is, like what their favorite part of being involved in this sorority is, or their favorite event is for their philanthropy, or I don't know, like you shouldn't just ask questions because you have in your head that they want you to ask you specific questions. Ask the questions that you're actually curious about, unless it's like, how are the parties? Do we go together? Like stuff like that. They'll tell you about dues, like how much you have to pay for the sororities on a certain day. If they don't, I think that's an appropriate question to ask. I know it said no bucks. However, it is a concern. If you can't afford it, you don't want to go through with it, you know what I mean? You could even just say to them, like, I don't know if this is appropriate because I know you're not supposed to talk about money, but I am concerned about dues. I think that they'll be fine with that. It's not like, I don't know. I don't think that's a terrifying question to ask. So I feel like as long as you bring it up in an appropriate fashion, you should be fine asking that question. How do you know which sorority is for you? People say you get a feeling. You absolutely do. When I, literally the first day of recruitment, Delta Gamma was the third sorority that I went to. And I went into the first two, and like the girls were so nice, but I was like, I don't feel as comfortable as I expected I was going to. And everyone else was coming out going, oh my god, I had such a good time. Oh my god, I had such good conversations. Like, this is awesome. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I just didn't have the same experience. The second I walked into Delta Gamma, I don't want to say immediately felt at home. When I first started talking to the girls, I felt at home. I felt very comfortable, and I walked out and I was like, that's the feeling everyone was talking about. Like, I was so excited that I like got the feeling, because I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, I didn't get that same feeling, you know what I mean? You definitely do get a feeling. Don't try to force it. Like I said, if you have your heart set on that you want to be in a certain sorority, don't do it that way, because your hopes are going to be let down, and it's just not the proper way to go about it. So they can sense if you belong in the sorority, and I feel like I said, you get a feeling as well. So just stick to your gut and follow the process. It'll work out for you, I promise. Are the rules super strict? I don't want to say that they're strict, but there are rules. For example, you can't, and like I said, these were just rules for like our sorority. Like, you can't post pictures with alcohol if you're underage, and just like hold your sorority in a positive light, basically. I don't know, I feel like they're just basic rules that like it's not they're trying to be in control of you, it's that they're trying to help you better yourself. And like the whole no alcohol in pictures things, like they're just trying to help you out for your future like employers. Like, you're not gonna have to go back through your Instagram and delete a bunch of pictures you're embarrassed of because you didn't post them in the first place. So the rules are just looking out for your best interest. It's not, like I said, to control you in any way, shape, or form. Is the initiation part scary? Like I said before, our initiation was just like a ceremony, like ritual type thing. So it wasn't scary. If you're talking about the like hazing kind of part of it, I did not experience it. I'm sure it would be terrifying. Does the payment every month get bothersome? So I had a few questions about this, like, are they expensive? How much are they? Does it become bothersome? Every sorority is going to be different. It is, they're not super cheap. I don't remember how much I paid for my dues. I can't find it, honestly. I'll ask my mom. I bet she'll probably remember, and I'll put it on the screen here. Obviously, it's not fun to pay money for anything ever, but I don't regret it one bit at all. If I join any sorority, is it better to live in the house or nah? I did not live in my sorority house. Like I said, we did not have one. However, I would have liked to live in it. Like I said, I don't have an experience on it. I have heard that it can be distracting, which makes a lot of sense because you're constantly surrounded by your friends. I probably would have liked to do it, so I guess it's just personal preference, honestly. Can girls be mean in sororities, or like, is there certain ones that are meaner? Girls in sororities are just normal people, so obviously it's a possibility. I don't think there's like a certain sorority. Sororities are different everywhere. Like, Delta Gamma here is so much different than probably Delta Gamma in, say Arizona, just because it's different girls that make them up. It's not like there's like a strict standard that all the girls have to be carbon copies of each other, so it's definitely possible, but it's just gonna vary everywhere, so I can't really help much with that. Do you have to party or drink if you join one? Absolutely not. If you guys have been watching me, you know that I don't drink. I have never drank. You don't need to party. It's just not necessary. they don't force you to do it, and if they do, get out of there as fast as you can. Like I said, I was never forced to do anything. You definitely don't need to go to parties or drink if you don't want to. That's like, you do it on your own time kind of thing. And everywhere is different. Like I said, everything I say, take with a grain of salt. It's going to be different every single place you go, but with every different sorority. But in my experiences, absolutely not. Did you love DG during recruitment, or did it grow on you when you got a bid? Like I said, DG I loved them from the first day, and they were my top choice. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but they were. I didn't suicide bid, and if you don't know what suicide bidding is, it's when you only put down one sorority on your bid card. You can put 2 down, so if you get a bid from either sorority, you will be taken into that sorority, and you'll, like, say, I'll just give you 2 well-known sororities, Delta Gamma and Alpha Phi. So say that they were my final 2, and I loved both of them. I could see myself in both of them, but Delta Gamma, I'd like to be in there a little bit more. I could see myself there a little bit more. So I'd put them down as my number 1 and Alpha Phi down as my number 2. If Delta Gamma didn't give me a bid and Alpha Phi did, I would be an Alpha Phi. Or if Alpha Phi was my number 1, Delta Gamma was my number 2. If Alpha Phi didn't give me a bid, I'd be in Delta Gamma. However, if you suicide bid, say I only put down Delta Gamma and they didn't give me a bid, I would not be in a sorority. You wouldn't get a bid from anything. So I don't recommend that unless you truly can only see yourself being in one. But like I said, I don't recommend doing that. But they grew even more on me once I was in it, because I just met more of them and loved them. Is it weird to rush a sorority as a junior? Absolutely not. My best friend Sam rushed as a junior, and she has absolutely no regrets. I don't think it's ever too late. You don't want to regret it for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? Because there are things I never did in high school that I definitely regret not doing, and you can't change it. So if you want to be in one, it's never too late. How did you know what to wear for rush, and what was it like? This is a good question, and again, it's going to kind of be different everywhere. Some schools will give you a dress code or give you like a shirt for the first day, stuff like that. It gets fancier, I believe, everywhere as the days go on. Like your final day, preference day, or preference night, or whatever you have, is going to be the fanciest out of all of them. Starting off, a lot of schools give you a shirt to wear for the first day. UConn didn't, and then you like pair it with like some cute shorts or a skirt or whatever. So like I said, most of the time it starts out like relatively casual. Like still like dress like, I don't want to say to impress, dress and be yourself, but like the first day I wore like, I think some like cute shorts and like a tank type thing, and then like I got a little bit dressier every day and wore a dress the final day. Just dress to who you are. Don't dress because there's a certain way you think you should dress. Your RMT, or I think they're called different things somewhere else. It's like the person that's kind of like in charge of your group during recruitment. You can probably text them and like show them your outfits and whatever if you're worried about it, and they'll tell you if it's okay or not. Were you actually able to make genuine friends in your sorority? Yes, 100% yes. My best friends that I have right now are from my sorority. The best people like I've ever met. I am absolutely in love with them. My best friend Sam that you guys have met, we're inseparable. My friend Sydney, which you guys have not met yet, but you would absolutely love her, so you need to meet her. My big is my whole heart. I love her so much. She's the cutest person in the entire universe, and you guys would just want to like squeeze her to death. She's so cute. Even like my pref girl, and she's kind of like my aunt too, Liz. Oh my gosh, they're just such amazing people, and like I am so obsessed with them. You meet such good people. Like, I promise you, they're amazing. There's so many other girls too. I'm just naming off just like a few. But seriously, yeah, absolutely possible. Like I said, you're not going to be friends with every single girl in your sorority. It's just not, it's not going to happen. But you do meet some really amazing, genuine people. Do you notice a difference between northern and southern sororities? I kind of answered this before. Yes, I think northern sororities take it a lot less seriously, and southern sororities are a little bit more crazy about it. So, if you know what would be a really cool video, and I don't know if you guys will still want to see it, because it will definitely be up after like recruitment, but I feel like it would be cool, just, I don't know, to have a comparison. Juliana, when she rushed in Arizona, I wonder, it would be kind of cool if we like made a video together kind of like talking about the differences in recruitment. So if you guys would be interested in seeing that, I'd obviously have to ask her if she's okay with doing that, but comment down below if you'd be interested in seeing that. What made you want to rush? Like I've said 100 times in this video, I am a relatively shy person. I was very shy when I started college, and I really wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone and meet new people because I knew that I wasn't the type of person to just like walk up to someone in class and be like, hey, I'm Amanda. Like, that's not me. This really kind of forced me to be more social and meet people, which like is what I really needed. And also, like I said, I love the philanthropy aspect of it, and just that you find a bunch of people that are so similar to you. And yeah, but like I said, I was not going to rush at first because of the horrible, like, stereotype the sororities are given, but my friends were like, just do it, just do it, just do it, you'll love it, and I am so glad that I did. Would you encourage incoming freshmen to rush? Absolutely. Like I said, it really helped me. I think it's a great way to kind of like push yourself into the community and get involved, and I 100% recommend it. Do you think the sororities try to cancel out your individuality? Absolutely not. Like I kind of said before, the reason I liked DG so much was because everyone's kind of their own person. It didn't seem like we were all carbon copies of each other. Like, everyone had their own thing. We all, like, and this is, I don't want to sound, like, stereotypical, but, like, there are some where, like, all the girls are blonde and, like, super skinny and pretty, and, like, that's not what I was drawn towards. Like, I wanted it to be, like, real girls, like, who really just like you for who you are. So, no, that's the part that I love about Delta Gamma, is because we were all our own people, but we all, like, fit together so well. And like I said, for everything, it could be different other places, but not in my case. No, not at all. How did you handle the constant drinking involved in Greek life? You don't need to be a part of it unless you want to. It's not even like a Greek life thing, it's just a college thing. Everyone in college drinks. It's ridiculous. If you're not comfortable with it, you don't have to do it. Like I said, I've never drank, so it's just not a huge, I feel like it's not an issue unless you make it an issue, you know what I mean? If you're not into partying, do you recommend joining a sorority? Absolutely. Like I said, you don't have to party. It's not, I feel like that's like also like another misconception, is they're all about the parties, and like, that's not all it is, you know what I mean? There's so much more to it than that. Like, I am not a party girl at all, but you go out when you want to. You don't have to go out if you don't want to. It's just, yeah. What is the biggest challenge being in a sorority? I would say probably just the money aspect of it, whether you can afford it or not. Besides that, I really don't think there are any, like, challenges. How do you know when you should drop out of a sorority? When you feel, I don't know, in danger maybe, or like you can't be yourself, or that you're putting on this act, or if they're like hazing you, that's like not good. Just don't put yourself in any like situations that are going to harm you in any way, shape, or form. I hope you don't have to experience that at all. Do I have a little? No, I don't, and I'm really sad about it. Because, like I said, I'm going to explain more at the end because this video is already very long about what happened with my sorority. So I'll explain more at the end, but no, I don't have a little, and it's literally heartbreaking to me, but I'll explain more why at the end. Rush outfit ideas and advice. I'll try to clip, I didn't take pictures during recruitment week, but I can try and see if I can clip in pictures. You know what, I think I included them in my last year's video. I'll have that linked for you guys because I think I had pictures in that video. They're probably long gone now, so I don't know if I'll be able to put them in here, but I'll link that video for you guys down below. What is my favorite part? A positive question. Just the community that it is, and like being involved and meeting all these amazing girls that have like, they're similar to you and you can connect with easily, and the philanthropy behind it, and it's just, I don't know. I don't want you to think that I'm like fake saying this, but like I feel like you just become part of a big happy family. Like, even if you're not best friends with all of the girls, or even friends for that matter, you have a smiling face you see on campus, you get to wave to, you just, I don't know. It's just like a good feeling, like knowing that you have girls supporting you in everything you do, and I don't know. That's super cheesy and heart-melting, and I don't know, but it's the truth. One of my favorite questions. If I didn't enjoy high school because of the drama that the girls created, will I enjoy being in a sorority? Girl, there is no one that hates drama more than me. So, I'm not gonna say that there is no drama, because that's a lie. But you don't have to make yourself a part of it if you don't want to. I feel like you can kind of, I don't know, there's no like one answer to this question. It's really, like I said, just it's gonna be different everywhere. If there is drama going on, just don't let yourself be a part of it. Just be like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be involved, sorry. If there's drama going on in the group chat you're in or whatever, just mute it or get yourself out of it, or I don't know. You don't have to be a part of anything you don't want to be. You know what I mean? It's just like how you go about handling it, I guess. Because I feel like wherever there are girls, there's gonna be drama. It's just how it is. That's life. But I feel like it's not as dramatic as you'd think, in my experience anyway. Kappa, Delta, or Delta, Gamma? I'm not sure if you're asking which is like better or which I'm in. I am a Delta, Gamma. I don't like the whole ranking thing, and it's different everywhere, so I can't even really answer that question for you if you're asking which is better. How do you convince others that being in a sorority is an amazing opportunity? It's something I feel like you can tell that I'm struggling with. I feel like you just have to take my word for it, and everyone else that tells you that it is such a good experience. Just like I wouldn't sell you products I don't like. I wouldn't tell you to get involved in something that I didn't love. I don't know, I feel like it's just a really great opportunity, and you just have to experience it for yourself to really understand how great it really is. I don't know a single person that is in Greek life that regrets it. Yeah, I don't know. Just take my word, I promise. I hope you'll love it. Is there ever a meetup between schools like Kappa Deltas from different colleges can meet up? For our Founders Day, we did like a brunch type thing with another Delta Gamma. Now that I'm an alumni, we have like an alumni like association type thing, so I can go to alumni events, which are literally Delta Gammas from wherever that decide to come, which is really cool. And you can go to like any, like if you're a Delta Gamma, you could like go visit whatever Delta Gamma house, wherever, like if you're traveling, say to Texas, you could go and like go to the Delta Gamma house there, and I'm sure that they'd like let you see it. I don't know. I feel like I've seen people do that. Do sororities still do hazing? Like I said, I think it is probably a thing down south and maybe up north. I don't know. But I personally did not experience it. But I know it is still a thing. Does everyone actually bully people that aren't in the sorority, or is that just in the movies? Absolutely not at all. If that is a thing, people need to be like punched, because that's literally horrible. No, I have never experienced that ever, and no. Movies just make sororities out to be these horrifying things. I promise you they're not. Was it easy to make friends? Was there drama or cliques? How much time did you put in? So I kind of answered all the parts of this besides are there cliques. Like every social situation, people gravitate towards each other more than other people. I can't tell you that there are not cliques, because I'd be lying to you. It's not like they're not gonna talk to you, or I don't know. It's not like the high school cliques. I feel like it's more just these people meet, they really get along, they hang out all the time. It's not like they're not gonna join you into their little group. It's just that, like I said, in life, you gravitate towards some people more than others, and you just hang out with them a lot. That's it. No questions, just love knowing that you're my DG sis, because I think you're perfect. I love you! TB, girl. Are the parties lit? Sororities cannot have parties. It's just kind of like a rule. I'm pretty sure it's everywhere. I think it's just like a sorority rule. I don't know if you're talking about like the frat parties. I mean, they're fun. I don't know. UConn is not like a huge party school, like compared to schools down south. So they're fun, but I don't know. So the final question is, where do I find information for Rush Week? And they will most likely have some type of presentation or something that gives you all the information you need to know, or like tables set up in like, I don't know, your student union, or I don't know, something like that. They'll probably make it well known, or even just like look on your school's website under like Greek life, and I'm sure they'll have all the information you need to get involved. So that is going to be the final question I answer. I am going to talk about just like very briefly what might happen with my sorority, just because I do get so many questions and I feel like this is the video to bring it up in, just so you understand why I can't give you as much insight as possibly someone else could. If you're done watching here, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below because I love you and I'd be so happy if you did. If you are going through recruitment or you have already went through recruitment, comment down below. Let me know if you're going through recruitment, what sorority you're in, if you're already in one, if you're excited to go through recruitment, or if it's just not for you. That's totally fine. Let me know. I'm curious. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to find out more about my sorority, just watch for another second. My sorority was taken, and I don't want you guys to think I'm like heartless talking about this, because I have talked about it so many times in separate videos. So I'm just kind of going to give like the brief, I don't know. I've had a lot of backlash explaining this because I feel like no one truly understands what I'm trying to say, because I'm not trying to give too much away because we're not really supposed to like talk about it, I guess, but I feel like you guys have every right to know, and it is like super upsetting to me. So yeah. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard, maybe it was very big a few years ago. So when I was a freshman and I had just joined Delta Gamma, one of my sisters was killed. She was run over by a fire truck, or like a fire SUV, and she was killed. Delta Gamma executive offices reached out to us months and months and months later, and they were like, why didn't you tell us this happened, and this, that, and the other thing. And when you're in that kind of situation, you're not like trained on what to do when something horrific like that happens, you know what I mean? So no one reached out to executive offices because we figured, what does that have to do with anything, you know what I mean? I don't know, like she was a Delta Gamma, but the fact that she was one had nothing to do with her death. So, you know, it was just like correlation does not equal causation type thing. So they reached out to us and were basically trying to tell us that we were the reason that she was killed, which is absolutely so heartbreaking to me, and it makes me so angry because, like I said, it had absolutely nothing to do with it. I think they wanted to point a finger at someone, and we were the easiest targets. That's the way I look at it. And I don't know if I should keep those thoughts to myself, but that's just how I see it. Yeah. So our charter was removed from the University of Connecticut's campus, and so we are no longer allowed to be involved in recruitment or anything of that sort. We were all, I believe all of us, were made alumni members of Delta Gamma if we wanted to, and so I'm now an alumni member of Delta Gamma, so I can still go to Delta Gamma alumni events and stuff like that. Like, I will always be a member of Delta Gamma. However, we just cannot recruit new members and like do things as Delta Gamma at UConn, if that makes sense. So the reason I don't have a little is because we didn't get to go through recruitment and recruit new members again, which is literally like recruitment and getting a little were two of the most exciting things for me, because like I love my big so much and I like so badly wanted to have a little to like spoil. And I obviously didn't get that. And Delta Gamma to me is just like, there's no one, and I don't even want to say this because this sounds like I'm being like super biased. And like I said, the rest of the sororities at UConn are great. I don't have a bad word to say about any of them. But like, I feel like we're so different than the other sororities that it like breaks my heart that like someone might not find their real home because they belonged in DG. So that's just the part that like hurts my heart. The fact that someone could have been meant to be a Delta Gamma and they just won't be. So that's what happened. that's kind of all the details I can go into. That's more of the details than I should go into. So I guess I'm just going to end it there. If you made it all the way to the end, props to you. You go, girl or boy, or all of you. You go. You rock. Thank you so much for watching. Now I'm ending this on a heavy heart, and I hope you are not. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up for me and comment down below all the things I mentioned earlier. If you're going through recruitment, if you're already in a sorority, if you're my DG sister, let me know, because I want to, you know, send you some love. And if you're not following me on Instagram already, be sure to follow me at AMANDALOUISE and join our lovely little fam here on YouTube as well. If you're going through recruitment, have the best time. I know it can be nerve-wracking, but you're going to love it. It is so worth it. I really promise you that. And yeah, I'm so excited to watch all of you find your new homes. I'm just so excited. Alrighty, thank you guys again. I love you so, so, so much. And until the next video, don't forget to live lovely. Bye.